The team actually were up by 30 during the game and lost. So, unfortunately, we only played 2 quarters tonight, and that ultimately cost us.
And for the visiting team, the Melbourne University, for anyone down in Melbourne or outside watching this broadcast, the Division 1 women have are hosting the Whittlesea Pacers at Melbourne Uni. So there'll be a few at Melbourne Uni probably. 19 to 12. Looks like we've got just under a minute in the first quarter there. So the Division 1 team very similar to the men's team and leading at quarter time by all accounts. As we check back in here, Melbourne University with the ball. Musunda runs around Burkick and goes to the rack for 2. That's his 6th point of the game, coming off the bench really late in that first period.
Absolutely, making his impact known and getting busy.
Johns to Winderlick to Brown, who settles for 3. That's not going to drop. Winderlick chasing hard, grabs the rebound. That's Mitchie Evans checking in. His first minutes for the night in his pretty pink shoes. Winderlick driving hard, can't get it to drop, grabs the rebound, puts it back up. Can't get that one to fall either. Booby grabbing that rebound and pushing it.
Certainly a bit stagnant for GU at the moment.
Nice drive there with a bit of contact from Mabubi. Starts him off for the night with 2 points. As Winderlick receives a nice ball from Brown there, cutting to the rack for 2 to reduce that margin back to 8 points.
Great set play there from GU. They really needed that as it was getting out of control there.
That's Rhymes finding McNally, who lets it fly. Referees have called a foul. Foul there on the hands for Mitch Evans. It's going to send McNally to the line for 3 by the looks of things. Correct, 3. Some subs for Melbourne Uni.
Yeah, not quite the thing you don't want to foul the shooter, especially on the 3-point line, where he goes and makes his first of the 3. It doesn't make it any better when they hit him too, so bit of a lapse there.
Makes a second. Takes his account to 6, I believe, 5. And the third to 6.
Efficient free throw shooting, playing a part.
Considering they hadn't made a free throw before that. Good to see 3 go in. Evans coming off a Brown, handoff. Can't find the bottom of the net. Burkick chasing the rebound, can't grab it though. As Melbourne University get it and run. And that's through Mabubi. Dishes off to Rhymes, who tries to throw it back in. Can't get it back in. Gippsland come away with it through Winderlick. Johns pulls up for the fast break 3. Finds the bottom of the net. Yes, sir. That's Johns opening his account for the night. Musunda in the post, able to draw the foul.
Tell you what, he has been an absolute handful for Gippsland United at the moment. You know, not the tallest guy out on the floor. I tell you what, he's an absolute ox, and they are looking for him every chance.
Miscommunication there massively from Gippsland as Pomerson checks back into the game, finds himself in the corner, wide open. No one went to him, and he drops it.
He's up to 13 for the night.
Winderlick going downhill, shoots, grabs the tip in. Gippsland able to get 2 of the 3 back. The lead's still out at 9 points here. Got about 7 minutes 20 to go. Musunda in the keyway, in the post, finds the 2. It'll take him to 8 points. And Gippsland just don't have an answer for Musunda inside or Pomerson outside. So Coach Scott McKenzie's going to have to do some thinking here, along with his assistant coaches, to work out how we're going to defend that. As Evans catches in the corner. As Burkick looks like he's going to be called for a foul in that rebounding contest. Bit of a push in the back. Musunda battling against the height. He's doing a really good job.
As I said, Musunda must be I reckon around 6'3", 6'4", if that. And he is giving troubles to Gippsland at the moment.
That's Pomerson. Gippsland carrying a hand and jumping at him as Rhymes goes to the rack. Burkick helps. That's Kafritzis for 3. Can't find the bottom of the net as Brown pushes it fast the other way. Kafritzis, good defense there on Brown. Can't find the bottom of the net. Winderlich chases the rebound. As the referees call a jump ball there, it's going to stick with Gippsland. We've got 6 minutes 27 remaining in this second quarter. It's going to be a Gippsland ball on the baseline as Coach Scott McKenzie calls a timeout. Rally the troops. They really need a basket off this end line.
Absolutely. In a bit of struggle street at the moment offensively. Joel Winderlich's been keeping them going. He's grabbed at least 3 or 4 offensive rebounds this quarter. But I think the biggest issue for Gippsland right now is just defense. You got Pomerson with 13. You've got Masunda, who's been absolutely ripping it apart with 8. And then just the scoring across it, you've got Rhymes with 3, Rocker with 2, Mabubi with 2, and then you got Selesky with 4, and McNally with 6. That's pretty well rounded, even though you've got a few leaders in that regard, but they're all within that, single digits category. So I think Gippsland need to find a way to stop that bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, Kafritzis is the only one that hasn't scored from Melbourne Uni who's taken the court so far. I don't recall Foster Jr. taking the court just yet. I'm sure that action will come later in the game. And, Gippsland coming off a 3-game losing streak, they really need to get off that losing streak. Otherwise, the remainder of the season could be a long one. And I looked down the list of Melbourne University's games, and it's really been, a couple of wins, couple of losses. There's nothing really standing out there. It just looks like they can't find the consistent win column. As Gippsland inbound at 12 on the shot clock, Burkick trying to go to work, ends up spinning and fading away as Musunda pulls in the rebound. 8 points in 6.5 minutes, Reece. He's going really well.
Certainly is.
And that's Rocker for 3, the big fella. Can't get that one to drop. I'm sure there was someone probably better to shoot that from behind the arc, but Rocker wanted to join the party.
Considering most of their shots have been pretty efficient as well.
As Demzik goes downhill there to reduce the gap back to 9, back into the single digits. And it looks like Melbourne University are going to try and get through a half-court set here. Really good screen there by Rocker, who fumbles the ball but hits it to Musunda. Unfortunately, it's the first time he hasn't had an easy layup. Finds the front of the ring. Brown pulling up. Back of the rim, can't get it to drop. As we have a few go down over there in the corner. Melbourne Uni player staying down. That's McNally continuing to push it. Now pulls it out, and the referee stopped the game.
It was definitely a clash of Titans down there with Burkick and, is it Kafritzis?
I think it's Kafritzis, yep.
Which he looks a bit banged up on it, actually.
As Coach Josh Turton pops into the game, tells him to come and have a breather. Sokleski's going to check in for Melbourne University, and then Benny Barlow checking back in the game for Burkick, I guess. Burkick just hasn't had the impact like he's had in some previous games. It probably doesn't help that Melbourne University aren't a big team either. Like they're not the tallest team that we've seen in championship men this season.
Yeah, Melbourne Uni's physical natured defense has definitely rattled their bigs a lot. So I definitely think in a lot of ways like that's got a contributing part, and they're just not quite adjusting yet. So hopefully they can start finding some rhythm because they are great players when they do find their stride.
Rocker to Sofleski, back to Rocker. Can't get it to drop, just throws it up, hoping it would drop in as Gippsland run the other way. Gets to Evans and to Demzik. Brown's going to find it from behind the 3. Front of the net, front of the ring, should say. And that's McNally pulling in another rebound. He's got a few rebounds, I reckon. Feels like I've called his name a few times on that rebound. Gets the ball back, and he's driving downhill. going up against Brown, who blocks. Oh, and we've got a bit of push and shove there from McNally and Brown. Having a bit of a chat after that play. The referees diffuse it there, giving both teams warnings by the looks of things.
A bit of banter on the court.
Definitely. We like a bit of banter as Rhymes throws it up, can't get it to drop. And that's Rocker grabbing the rebound and putting it in.
So Melbourne Uni's physicality right now is suffocating Gippsland United.
They're being quite physical and they're reaping the benefits from it as Brown looks to try and go to work. Turns it over, but the referee has called a foul. Looks like the foul's going to go against Samson Rocker. It's going to be his second. 4 minutes 25 to play. Plenty of time to leave him in the game. Gippsland just look a little bit out of shape, but Brown finds the two there. That end line play didn't look like they were in much shape. That's McNally for three. Draws the foul. And we've got a foul on Mitch Evans on the three-point line. McNally's going to go to the line for three, and then we have a foul on Gippsland United coach Scott McKenzie. It's going to see another free throw taken. Looks like McNally's going to step to the line for all four of them.
Yeah, I think Evans just forgot that McNally is a shooter and got to let him land a little bit, unfortunately. So a bit of a lapse there. Didn't learn from the first one.
That's the first made of the 3 free throws for McNally. With 2 more.
So now these are the shooting foul free throws?
They had 3. That's the second of his free throws.
Right.
Big V playing real technical fouls this season with 1 free throw, which is good to see. There's more who's going to check in for Evans. Takes a seat with 2 fouls. As Melbourne University extend the lead out to 13, I believe that's the biggest one for the night.
Yes, it is. Gippsland need to really get a score on this possession here.
Washington, no one in front of him. Can't find the bottom of the net. Brown doing a great job there of grabbing the rebound, putting it back up and drawing a foul, and it looks like that's going to be called on the big man, Samson Rocker. He's third, which is big for Gippsland, because he's going to have to go and sit on the bench at least for the rest of the 4 minutes in this second period.
You never know. Coach Josh Turton might just trust him and leave him out there and try and stay out of foul trouble. But I think the way Melbourne Uni are playing right now, I don't think you need to risk that at all.
Not at all, as Brown finds the bottom of the net. The first takes his account to 10 for the night. Shooting at 67% from the line. Misses the second. Kafritzis pulling in that rebound. Rhymes coming off that on ball. He's going to pull up and he's going to nearly find the bottom of the net there. Barlow grabbing the rebound and pushing it along with Brown. Tries to dish it into Barlow, can't find it, and that's Melbourne University going the other way. McNally can't find the layup, and that's Sofleski picking up the scraps and putting it in for 2. Barlow finding it inside, can't get that little layup under, and that's McNally running again, and he's going to pull up for 3, and that's looking good. Hits the back of the iron, can't drop. Gippsland are able to recover it. And then we have a foul called on Melbourne University. That's going to go against Joshua McNally. Picks up his second. Looks like he's going to get subbed out of the game. Mabubi's going to check back in.
That's right, he certainly... McNally got a bit of a send-off as he went to the bench there from the crowd. certainly making an impact.
Barlow on the wing. Not a lot of movement from Gippsland there, but Brown is in the keyway. And he's going against Krafitsas. Gets him in the air and then goes underneath him and says, I'll take 2.
Puts Brown up to 12 for the night.
Cuts the lead back to 12. 3 minutes remaining here in the first half inside the Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium. As Melbourne University look to go downhill, that's a fine to Krafitsas, who puts it up, can't get it to drop. Brown with a nice tap out there. Demzik's going to bring it up. Morhu running. Barlow on the other side. Can't see him. Washington pulls up, can't get it to drop. And that's Melbourne University going the other way. Quite quick as well.
Gippsland just look very misjointed at the moment. They can't really find a rhythm as a team at the moment.
Pomerson finds Sokolewski for 2. He makes it, and he's going to go to the line for a bonus. As that foul looks like it's signalled against Brown. It was.
And it puts Sokolewski up to 10 for the game. Third Melbourne Uni player to hit double digits before the half.
Masunda checking in for some more minutes here. Late in the period. Sokolewski makes that. That's a 15-point lead now. Still in the second period as Demzik shot fakes, gets him off the ground to Barlow, who moves it on to Washington for 3. Finds the bottom of the net. Yes, sir. Thank you. Washington's able to get off the board on the 3-point line, which is good to see. Hopefully that can get him going. As Demzik sticks his hand in, Pomerson nearly goes right around him and then nearly throws the ball over. That's Masunda. He's been a jet in there. Can't find the bottom of the net this time. And he's able to pull in the rebound and then go back up and draw the foul on Washington. And Masunda's going to find himself at the charity strike for another 2.
He's going up for his 9th and 10th point for the night, but he's also got a cozy 4 rebounds to go with it in about 8 minutes of play.
Makes the first. He makes his free throw, and that'll be the 4th Melbourne University player into double digits. And it just shows how much of a powerhouse from scoring they are. Anyone, anywhere, anytime, and that's the commentator's curse. Misses on the front of the ring. As Gippsland look to push through Ben Barlow, who's going downhill, spins, makes it, and the referees blow a late foul on Rhymes. Barlow's going to go to the line for a bonus. Wasn't actually called on Rhymes there, it was called on Musunda. He picks up his first.
It's a great cut there by Barlow for the conversion.
Who makes it, brings that lead back to 10 points. 6 points at the quarter break. Currently 10. 1.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. That's a mismatch inside. Maybe it's not a mismatch. That's Washington and Musunda having a go. Musunda out-muscling Washington there, and he's going to walk to the line for 2. He doesn't know it, though. I think he's just realised now when he's looked up at the scoreboard to go, hey, they're in bonus. I get to go shoot 2. As Washington checks out with 3 fouls, and Winderlich checking in.
It's probably his only error in the grey area of his game is free throws, it looks like.
Doesn't look great either, does it? Like, it's like a little flick at it, but that's missed too. But that's Sokolewski who's able to find that and finish it, and that's Rhymes driving hard. Can't get it to drop. Morhu grabs it, pushing it. Oh, Barlow's going to get it downhill. Unfortunately, can't catch it. That's behind him. And Melbourne University go the other way through Pomerson, who's going through the middle. Gippsland able to interfere there. However, the referee said he interfered with a foot. Oh, Melbourne University find Pomerson in the corner. Can't get it to drop this time. That's Mabubi. Can't get it to fall this time either. We have another foul. That foul's there called on Joel Rhymes. That's going to be his first, and we're going to walk to the other end with 52 seconds remaining. As Benny Barlow walks to the line, he's going to take the 2.
He's going for his 11th and 12th point here, hopefully.
Made the first. Got some subs happening for Melbourne University. I think there's some blood on Rhymes' arm there. Clearly pointing to say, I need a sub. Normally you can't sub during free throws, so I guess that's what's occurred. And Barlow steps up and makes the second. Reduces that gap back to 8. Like I said, it was 6 at the break. Gippsland have been able to recoup that back to 8 so far. It was extended out to 15 or 16 during the quarter, so they're doing a great job in this last few minutes. That's Mabubi going downhill, and that's a great, strong layup there through traffic. Winderlich catching on the wing, looking inside to Brown, deciding against it. Here he goes again. That's Masunda, who's going to be whistled for a foul now. Not overly happy with it. It's going to be his second. Bryce Brown is going to walk to the line for 2. 23.3 seconds here, so we're under the shot clock.
Yeah, 2 crucial free throws going into the half here. Needed to reduce that lead.
Misses the first. Makes the second. As Melbourne University, similar to the end of the first period, will bring it up. Shot clock is out this time though, and we'll settle for the final shot. And that's Mabubi with the ball in hand. He's got the matchup I think he wants with Winderlich, but they're going into Masunda, who's going to go to work. Goes around Barlow. Barlow looks like he's going to be whistled for the foul there, and he certainly is. Blocking foul. Picks up his first, and Masunda is going to go to the line for his chance to get to double digits for the 3rd time. Misses the first. That's 4 in a row from Masunda that he hasn't been able to collate from the line. 1 from 5. Made the second. 3.9 remaining. Melbourne University have a sub. That's Matthew Foster Jr. We said he was going to check into the game at some stage, and he's checking in the first half. As Coach Scott McKenzie's going to use a timeout here. 3.9 remaining. Obviously to draw something up to try and bring the deficit back from 10 going into the half.
Yeah, it's sitting at 10. 3.9 seconds. There's a bit of time to make something happen, depending on how much room you get. But I would say it'd be probably setting up for a score, in the 3-point area, I would say, given the time on the clock. But we shall see.
Keeping in mind they've got movement on the baseline here, so they should be able to run along the baseline to be able to free up a reasonable pass, let's call it, rather than having to be stationary or on the spot. In what's been an interesting half of basketball, we've had ups and downs, we've had runs. We've got a 10-point game on our hand. Melbourne University 53, Gippsland 43, 3.9 seconds remaining. Gippsland have just come out of the timeout, drawn something up. It's going to be Bryce Brown catching at the centre line there. Or Morhu coming off and catching, running down the court. By the looks of things from here, we've got Barlow in a corner and Winderlich in a corner. Yep, Morhu catching it, facing the right direction. Off to Brown, who can't get the catch, can't get a shot off in the time remaining, and that's it. That's our first half all done. Melbourne University travelling down the highway, 53, in front of Gippsland United, 43, in a chilly Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium here in Traralgon. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with our round 12 state championship men Big V action here shortly, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone, into the Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium where Championship Men's Big V action. Melbourne University 53, Gippsland United 43. We're at the half, got 2 minutes remaining in the halftime break as we take a quick look around the courts for the moment. We'll start with the Championship Men. McKinnon travelled into RMIT. It looks like it's halftime in there. In at RMIT there. McKinnon had the lead 42-38. Now the game tonight happening at the moment. Wyndham taking on Sunbury in what looks like Wyndham's pink ground in their pretty pink uniforms. Currently look like they're trailing Sunbury 19-25. Looks like we're towards the end of that first period there, and we have a look around the courts. Start with the Melbourne University teams. Youth League men look like they kick off in just under 8 minutes, taking on Blackburn at Blackburn, and the Division 1 women, Melbourne University, are about to kick off after half-time. They're up 10 points, 41-31, similar to the men, which was a similar case at quarter-time as we spoke about. So, and any Gippsland United fans at home, the women have travelled, Division 1 women have travelled to Altona tonight with a very short-handed team, 6 or 7 players to my understanding, and they're currently down 21-19 early in the second period. And we come back in here to our game here, Reece, at Championship Men. It's been a pretty up and down game. Both teams shooting pretty consistently from the field, 41 and 46%. Melbourne University's three-point percentage has definitely come down to 33. All the other stats are looking quite close, 27, 23 rebounds. The assists are quite the same. Turnovers 6 and 4, like pretty level pegging game. However, Melbourne University have had the better of it, and they're up 10 points.
Absolutely. I think the big thing right now for Melbourne Uni, what's been really cracking for them, is they've got 4 guys in double digits that's scoring, and they're sharing that load pretty well. But yeah, certainly a bit of a drop in their 3-point percentage, but given that they couldn't quite efficiently score like they did in the first quarter.
As both teams return to the court, looks like both teams are very, very similar to their starting lineups. I notice Melbourne University have got one change, and they're starting with the ball, heading to the right of our screen. As Rhymes goes to work, gets a few players in the air, finds the bottom of the net, opens Melbourne Uni's account for the second half, taking their total to 55. As Gippsland settle into a half-court set here. Demzik on the wing, goes into Brown on the free throw line. He's doubled. No, not anymore. Got 6 on the shot clock. Goes to Barlow for 3. Can't find the bottom of the net on that one. That's Mabubi pushing it. He's going to go nearly all the way. Dishes it out. Rhymes catches on the 3-point line and loads. Can't find the bottom of the ring on that one. As Demzik is going downhill, decides against going into the keyway. As Barlow makes 2, strong inside there. As the referee calls hold to the game, as Mabubi looks like he may have taken one to the mouth, to the throat area. He's up on his feet now. He's showing his teammate to see if he's bleeding, but he looks okay. As we get back underway. Sokolewski to Kafritzis. That's Rhymes. Inside, that's going to be a battle there. Kafritzis and Washington. That's Mabubi going to the rack, strong for 2. Nice little layup. Takes his total to 6. Barlow pulling up, sides against it. That's Brown. Going against Rhymes. Nice little hook. Hook shot, that is, and it drops.
So both teams starting to get their feet cemented in this quarter. A lot of high pace, a lot of physicality.
Bit of a mismatch inside there as Demzik was on Kafritzis, I believe, and then that's Sokolewski finding a gap, going to the rack for 2. 2 easy layup right there for Melbourne University. Brown going against Kafritzis again. Can't get the ball to go in this time. And that's Mabubi pushing it. Decides to pull up in front of Barlow. And that's 2. That's it. That's the lead out to 14. Very quickly there for Melbourne University. Morhu with the ball at the top. Decides to pull up. Can't get it to drop. The referee's whistled a foul there. It's going to go against Bryce Brown. It's going to be his second. Looks like Masunda is going to check back into the game. Kafritzis is going to have a little rest. Mabubi and Morhu going at it at the top of the keyway. Morhu caught on a screen, decides to switch. And that's Brown on Masunda, who's going to be whistled for a 3-second violation. Referee's determined that he did not leave the keyway. And that's going to turn the ball over to Gippsland. Barlow on the wing, goes to Washington, who goes back to Morhu, who goes downhill, frees up Washington, the top of the keyway for 3, yes! He's able to get that one to drop, takes his account to 11 for tonight. 3 from 4 from behind the arc for Washington. That's Pomerson going to work there. He dishes it off, and now it ends up in Rhymes' hand with 4 remaining on the shot clock. Nice little Euro step there. He's able to draw the foul. That's going to be called on Washington, and that's going to be his 4th personal. Coach Scott McKenzie deciding to not risk Washington on his 4th this early in the 3rd quarter anyway.
Yeah, puts it in a difficult spot. He's only just started to really get going too, so a bit of a blow there.
Rhymes at the line, can't find the first one to go down. Does the second. 12-point lead, Melbourne University. Just under 6.5 minutes remaining in this 3rd period. Barlow, top of the keyway, pulls up. That's looking good, and it is. That's 3 points there for Benny Barlow. Takes him to 17 points for the night and carrying the Gippsland team. Mabubi dishes it to Rhymes, who dishes it to Masunda. Gets the easy 2. We have a foul called on Melbourne University there. It's going to go against Mabubi, who ran into Brown. That's his first for the night. Burkitt catches in the corner. Bit of movement there from Gippsland with the ball, and it finds itself out of bounds, but Gippsland will retain. 13 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Baseline ball. Brown trying to get himself open. Finds the ball, but it's tipped away there by Kafritzis. And Melbourne University are running. Mabubi can't get it over the ring. And Masunda pulls in the rebound and goes back up. And flexing. Flexing on Bryce Brown there.
Masunda is a handful and letting them know about it too.
Referees have blown a technical foul there. Not sure who that was on. Looked like it might have been the bench. Looks like it is the bench. Pomerson walks to the line, makes the first. May have been one of Gippsland's non-players for the night. having their say, potentially. That's what it looks like anyway. Masunda walks to the line. Flick free throw misses, but that is Pomerson pulling up for 3 and putting it in. 17-point lead.
Melbourne Uni definitely feeling this game now. Yeah, Gippsland need to find a response.
Brown catches on the free throw line, driving, spins, can't get it to drop. Able to find the rebound though. Can't get it to fall on the rebound. And a foul has been whistled there on Masunda.
He's picked up his 3rd foul as well.
It did look like he made some comment to the referee as well during that play. Voicing his frustration, let's call it. As Brown rolls to the line, makes the first. Just over 5 minutes remaining here in the third. 16-point lead to Melbourne University, who really haven't looked like losing this game so far. They've been the better team, been making the shots. As Brown makes the second. Melbourne University will come into a half-court set here. As Brown tries to disrupt it. Knocks it out of bounds. 12 seconds remaining here for Melbourne University on the shot clock. Sideline ball, free throw line extended. Burkick's going to bring the pressure. That's Pomerson catching. Mububi getting some contact. Oh, Kafritzis driving downhill. Runs into Burkick. And Burkick's going to be whistled for the foul.
Yeah, I think he lined up Burkick on there, realised he was coming from split help, and yeah, draw the foul there. It was a pretty smart play.
Very smart play there by the guard. As Melbourne University look to inbound it here, have struggled a little bit. Pomerson does well to keep that inbound. And Mububi pulling up, fading away, finds the front of the rim. And Gippsland are going to turn and run the other way as Burkick lays out a solid screen there for Benny Barlow, who's able to finish for 2.
Ooh,
that was a very solid screen there by Burkick.
We hope he's all right. It was a fair hit.
Mububi looks a little shaken, but he's back up. He's back up, he's shaking it off, he's going to continue playing. That was a massive hit there.
It was a solid screen there at the 3-throw line. Burkick just went, yep, I'm going to sort you out.
I don't think Mububi knew it was coming.
No.
That was the biggest thing.
If I was Mabubi's teammates, I would be pissed.
A bit of disruption there from Gippsland. Can't recoup the ball. Gippsland bringing a bit of pressure now after that. Bit of momentum swing. Melbourne University, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Going to try and fumble play here as Rhymes tries to go baseline around Barlow. Dishes out to Kafritzis, who finds the 3. And he's letting the Gippsland United bench know we're here to play. And we are winning. Burkick in the post. Finds Barlow, who can't just get it over the ring. Throws it into the bottom. And Melbourne University run the opposite way as Masunda fumbles back to Mububi. Kafritzis settles it at the top of the keyway. 7 on the shot clock here with Rhymes at the top of the keyway. Trying to go around Burkick. Burkick carrying a great hand, but Rhymes finds the bottom of that net.
It's a very skillful shot there from Rhymes to get that one off with shot clock pressure.
Takes his account to 8 for the night. And Rhymes is having a pretty good quarter this quarter. Steadying the ship for Melbourne University. As Morhu pulls up from behind the 3. Can't get it to fall. Demzik rebounds. Puts it up from the free throw line. Burkick finds it. Demzik's going to have another go. This time from 3. And Ben Barlow able to pull in the captain's rebound and put it in for 2.
Bit of momentum building here for Gippsland. Especially needed to trim this lead down going into the final quarter.
Lots of opportunities there for Gippsland, and they were able to get it to drop as Rhymes pulls up, can't get it to fall. And that's Pomerson in this corner. That looks good, and he's found the bottom of the net. That's 3 more for Melbourne University. This leads nearly out to 20 points. As Demzik pulls up from the free throw line. Brown with a great rebound. He tries to go under, and there's a foul being whistled there. Looks like that foul was called on Pomerson. That is his second for the night as Benny Barlow checks out of the game, and Michael Johns is checking in. And for Melbourne University, Sokolewski's checking back in, and Pomerson's just going to take a well-deserved rest with his 19 points in 22 minutes. Brown steps to the line, makes the first. Made the second.
Puts him up to 19 for the night with 6 rebounds as well. And the next scoring leader for Gippsland is Barlow with 21.
Pomerson currently averaging 5.9 points per game, shooting 19 tonight. He's started his season potentially from improving that as Melbourne University able to find the bottom of the net once again. Brown driving downhill. A little bit out of control there.
Yeah, it seemed a bit rushed on that possession there.
Melbourne University make another sub. That's Mabubi checking out, and looks like Rhymes checking back in. Brown catching at the top of the keyway for 3. Gets it to fall. Gippsland needed that one. Cuts the lead back to 16. Sunda catching it in there. He's dangerous. Dishes it out to McNally, who can't get it to fall this time. Rhymes will have a go. He looks good, and he drains it. He'd have to have a few from behind the arc tonight.
That shot puts Rhymes in as the 6th double-digit scorer for Melbourne Uni tonight.
Yeah, only 2 from 6 from behind the arc, so Melbourne University get it and come the other way. This is Rhymes. Throws the ball off a Gippsland foot, and Melbourne University will keep possession. 8 seconds left here on the shot clock. 1 minute 15 remaining in the third. As Musunda gets it inside, goes to work. Brown able to block it. Goes up again. He's able to find the bottom of the net. Spent a long time in there. As Gippsland come the other way, Morhu pulls up for 3. He's able to drain it. Gets that back to an 18-point game. 50 seconds remaining here. Melbourne University looking to get through a half-court set this play. That's McNally. Dishing to Sukleski, and that's John sticking his hand in. And Demzik's going to go up. He's going to go hard, draw contact. No foul called as Melbourne University go the other way. Krafitsis runs into Winderlich, and it looks like Winderlich is going to be whistled for a foul. And Krafitsis will go to the line for a couple of free throws. Winderlich is called for his second. Gets the first one to rattle in. Touched nearly every part of the ring and backboard there.
Doesn't matter how it looks or how it goes in, as long as it goes in.
Front of the iron on the second, can't get it to fall. And Gippsland will push it the other way. 25 remaining on the game clock. Morhu going to work. Demzik's going to let it fire from 3. And he gets it to drop. That's massive for Gippsland. They needed that going into this three-quarter time break. 16 points. Melbourne University still have a chance to score here, though. Rhymes dishes out to Krafitsas. Long three. Can't get it to fall, though. As Brown grabs the rebound, decides to throw it the full court. That's it. That's the quarter in here at the Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium. Melbourne United able to grow that lead out to 16, 86 to 70. 6 scorers, 6 of their 8 scorers in double digits. They're doing quite well spreading the score there, Melbourne University.
Absolutely, and shooting at a pretty healthy rate too. 53.3% from field and 40% from three, which is causing a lot of issues for Gippsland. The only downfall for Melbourne Uni is shooting 13 of 22 from the free throw line, which I think has come majority from Masunda, who's 3 of 8. But you know, Masunda's been such an impactful player for Melbourne Uni inside. He's got 17 points, 7 rebounds, as one of the most predominant small ball fives I've seen in a long time. You know, and look, yeah, as you said before with Parmesan, you know, 5 points a game coming into tonight, has 19 with a quarter to go. You know, he's obviously had a great night. He's 5 of 8 from 3, so he's certainly been cooking from the arc. You know, but you look over at GU, wasn't essentially a bad quarter, but again, getting outscored by 6 points in the quarter. You've got Brown with 22 points and 6 rebounds, and you've got Barlow with 19 points and 7 rebounds to go with it. But a lot of guys just not kind of finding a rhythm yet. We've seen Demzik in that last final couple passages really create and find some things going, so hopefully that's what they need to get on top of Uni in this quarter.
It's going to be Gippsland ball to start this fourth period. We'll take a quick look around the courts. Division 1 women for Gippsland, 41-32 down at the half against Altona. The girls down there battling away. Melbourne University Div 1 women holding on to a steady lead, 68-55, currently against Whittlesea in at Melbourne University. And we will have had a start in the Youth League game for Melbourne University. Youth League 1 men, just over 2 minutes remaining. Blackburn 21, Melbourne University 20. We get a score from Gippsland and then a turnover, so Gippsland are going the other way. It's going to be a big start for the quarter if they can get that to drop. Unfortunately, Morhu can't get it to fall. And McNally grabs the rebound. There's a bit of a twirl and continues on. That's Rhymes going to the rack. Brown meets him. Puts enough pressure on there to adjust his shot and make it miss. As Windleak goes the other way, tries to cross over. Grafitsas puts his hand in there. Brown for 3. Back of the ring. There's going to be a rebounding foul there. And that's going to be called on Windleak. He's 3rd for the night.
Yeah, certainly a lot of physicality that's been happening. And, you know, just getting all adjusted, but it looks like Wabubi's coming back in after copping that screen of the century or the season in the 3rd quarter.
As Melbourne University bring it to the right of our screens. That's McNally on the wing, decides against it, gives it off. Sokleski from 3 in the corner finds the bottom of the ring.
He is 16 points on 100% shooting right now.
Windleak going downhill. It's going to be whistled for an offensive foul there. Good defense by Samson Rocker. As we just check the court for a wet patch. It's not there. As Melbourne University bring it up. Going to settle into a half-court set here, and it's looking a fair bit of movement so far. Got the Gippsland defense spread as Rhymes pulls up, shoots over Barlow, whack. Barlow carrying a very high hand there, and Rhymes has got that quick release to fire over it, and that's a 20-point lead for Melbourne University.
Yeah, Rhymes starting to really find his rhythm this quarter.
As Winderlich can't find the points from the free throw line. Rhymes pulls up in fast break. Can't get it to drop that time. And Melbourne University are able to recover the rebound, and that's Samson Rocker for 3. Bounces over the ring, and Barlow bringing it up. Fair bit of contact as the referee whistles a foul. I reckon that one was called on Rocker.
Looks like it has, and it's picked up his...
Samson Rocker's picked up his 4th.
Which I don't think Melbourne Uni are aware.
Not at all. There's Johns on the 3-point line. Mabubi contests the shot. It's going to be called for the foul. It's only his 2nd. And Johns is going to go to the line for 2. He's only been able to obtain 3 points so far for the night.
Certainly been one of his more quieter games of the season. He's certainly been usually a good point producer, but certainly hasn't got going tonight.
Misses the first, currently averaging 7.5 points per game. Makes the second to take him to 4 for the night. 7.5 minutes remaining here in the Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium. Round 12, Big V action, Championship men's. Fair bit of pressure there by Morhu on Mabubi, who's able to control it and finish at the rack to take that lead to 21 and his account to 12 points. As Washington's going downhill, it's going to be bailed out there by Joshua McNally. That's his 3rd. Washington's going to go to the line for 2. He's able to make the first.
And just coming back into the game after picking up his 4th early in the 3rd.
Made the second. It's going to be his biggest task, I guess. He's staying on the court in his last 7 minutes.
Absolutely.
There's Rhymes pushing. Brown says no thank you at the rack. As Gippsland look to push the ball. That's inside to Brown, who goes back out to Washington, who pulls up for 2 off the glass. Can't find the bottom of that ring. And Mabubi showcasing his ball handling skills right there to work around Morhu. As Savleski finds the 2.
Yeah, Melbourne Uni just able to kind of get what they want in offense at the moment.
Barlow looks for the 3, decides against it, goes to Brown. He decides to shoot it. No good. And Melbourne University will come the other way. Mabubi at the top of the keyway finds McNally in the corner. Throws it up and unfortunately throws it to Gippsland, who continue to push. That's Barlow on the back cut. Johns for 3. Can't find the ring. Barlow working hard.
Great hustle there by Barlow.
Recovers that one as Johns is blocked, and Melbourne University go the other way through Samson Rocker for 2. That's going to take his account to 4 for the night. Extend Melbourne University's lead out to 23. This game's starting to look a little bit ugly as Gippsland look to steady the ship. As Rocker swipes through there to steal the ball from Brown. Unfortunately, he's going to be whistled for the foul. As he checks out of the game. And John's checking out of the game for Gippsland. That's Washington going to work over Mabubi. Uses his body there. Strong play there by Washington.
Smart offensive play. Getting the smaller body on the block and going to work.
It's an interesting matchup there. Washington on Rhymes. Rhymes is very crafty. This is even better. Musunda on Washington, who continues to keep his hands up and does well not to draw the foul. The dish out to McNally for 3, drops. And that's Melbourne University hitting the ton for the night. Washington for 3. Can't get it to drop, and McNally's all the way down the other end of the court calling for it. He might find these 3 in front of the Gippsland United bench. Says no against it. Mabubi gives it to Musunda, who's got a match up with Burkick. Decides against it, but that's McNally pulling up for 3. Hits 2 parts of the ring, can't get it to drop. Very unlucky there from McNally not to be able to get that one to drop. Brown going against Rhymes. Nice little hook, can't get it to drop. Burkick and Musunda go at it. Burkick for 2 and the foul. That'll be Musunda's 4th. 4 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in the 4th. Burkick to the line. 22-point lead to Melbourne University currently. He's able to make that, extend his points account tonight to 4. Sukleski gives to McNally, who's doing a fair bit of movement as Washington sticks his hand in the cookie jar there. And Sukleski comes across, interferes with the path of Washington. He's going to be whistled for a foul as the referees come here and have a bit of a chat. Determine whether they're going to upgrade it, and they have. That's going to be called an unsportsmanlike foul there on Sukleski.
Yeah, I don't think the intent for the ball was quite there coming side on. So, yeah.
You're always in a bit of trouble when you come from behind and the side.
Yeah, it is.
You've got to always be in front of that ball, and unfortunately coming on that
just
angle.
That grey area, isn't it? Like it can seem like your intent was to stop the ball, but the way it hits through the body or the contact made. So it's certainly always a 50-50 when it's grey area.
Washington makes the first and the second, and it's interesting that foul isn't going to be called an unsportsmanlike foul anymore. It's going to be called something else in October when FIBA bring the new rules in, announced recently.
Yes, certainly some big changes there.
Still the same penalty, just a different name to assist with the game disqualification side of things. As Moorhu catches it on the 3, finds the bottom of the net. Yes, sir. As Gippsland look to go on a bit of a run, 16-point deficit. Just under 3.5 minutes remaining. I think it's a long shot for Gippsland, but you never know. As Sovleski goes to the rack, Brown meets him there. Puts it in the back wall here in the Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium. We have another stoppage in play. I think we've got some floor wiping to be done. Some subs happening for Melbourne University. Sovleski going out.
You can just see Josh Turton in the last couple of possessions telling his troops to be composed and finish the game out the right way, because it's 3 minutes, 20 to go, 16 down. It's never say never. All it takes is for a couple of good possessions and you're back right in this game.
We've seen Gippsland do it many times before in both Division 1 men's basketball and Championship men's. So it's not against the cards. It's just Melbourne Uni are looking a severely good team tonight.
Absolutely.
And should not let it happen as Mabubi goes to the rack, can't get it to drop. Brown trying to go out to Moore, who passes it straight to Mabubi, who's coming back and intercepting that pass. Just ticked under 3 minutes here in the fourth. McNally's got it, and he's going to let it fly, and that's looking good from here. Back of the ring, gets it back, and then throws it off the foot of Washington. And Melbourne University will get a fresh 14 seconds on the shot clock there. As
timeout by Gippsland there.
Yeah, Scott McKenzie calls a timeout with Melbourne Uni possession on the baseline. It's the DJ / court announcer here plays some really...
Yeah, we don't usually have our court announcer, Ed Collinshaw, a fellow that does breakfast for Triple M there. So it looks like our lovely operations manager, Simon Whelan, stepped in, and he's playing some lovely M&M to get us going whilst we're in this ball game. But look, you can't really put it across how Melbourne Uni have played tonight. You know, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in double digits. Spacing of 14 points, 19 points, 12 points, 18, 13 and 17.
Considering we spoke about they were missing their firepower, as we spoke earlier, like, you know, Aaron Dolney, who's averaging 16.5 points per game, Stanley, who's averaging 19.3, and Sims, who's averaging 20.5. So, you know, we're talking about 20, 40, 55 points there, and they've just been able to still shoot the ton. What would the game been if we had them 3 players playing?
Well, that's you kind of wonder what type of damage it could be. But you know, credit to the Melbourne Uni squad. All their guys played the next up mentality and getting the job done.
As we return to the action here, Melbourne University going to have the ball on the baseline, and it's looking like they're going to extend their current 1-game win streak to 2 games, and Gippsland's 3-game losing streak's going to continue, unfortunately, as we get another foot violation there and a shot clock reset for Melbourne University. 2.5 minutes remaining here in Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium. Round 12, Big V basketball action. As Demzik cops a stray, he's nearly able to steal the ball. Masunda's got it, and he's able to put himself on the scoreboard once again. That's 19 points now. Demzik looks at it and decides to let it fly. Can't get it to drop. Kafritzis pulls in another rebound. 6 for the night for Kafritzis. As Mabubi and Barlow are going to play at it. Sounds like Coach Scott McKenzie's telling his troops to play tough for these last 2 minutes.
Absolutely. Well, it comes more of a percentage and point game, especially with how tight it is throughout the ladder. So if you're Gippsland, you really want to try and you know, get those points and reduce the margins and everything. So I can understand why Scott's barking instructions to keep going.
Masunda's able to get to the rack again and extend his points to 21 tonight, leading all troops. And that's Moore who steps up and knocks down another 3, and he takes himself to double digits. As Gippsland bring a bit of pressure here. Demzik able to steal the ball. 17 points still. Barlow for 3. Front of the iron, no good. As Mabubi brings it up, runs around everyone from Gippsland and decides to pull it back out. Is able to draw a foul on Moorhu. It's his first foul for the night. Considering the amount of pressure he's brought, have his first foul with 1:15 to go. That's some pretty good basketball there from Moorhu.
Absolutely, for an 18-year-old as well, playing in championship men's basketball, certainly does a very good job.
Demzik's going to be whistled for a foul there on Mabubi, who's going to walk to the charity stripe for 2. Misses the first. The crowd is still in it. Yeah.
It was a very long free throw ritual, I'll call it. It was fairly long.
That was a lot shorter. Can't find the bottom of the net there, and someone's going to be whistled for a foul on the rebound. Looks like it's going against Melbourne University on number 35. Matthew Foster Jr. checking back into the game. He's played 3 minutes and he's picked up his first foul. Walk to the other end for some free throws. We could be in for a long minute and 8 seconds here with both teams in the bonus. Gippsland still looking to bring their pressure.
That's right, and especially being the points game, as mentioned before, very crucial that Gippsland try and get as many points as they can.
Can't get the first to drop there. As Washington lines up for his second. 17 points. And he drains it. Takes him to 18. Will Tankard checking in for his first minutes for the night. And that will be Washington taking a seat. O'Brien, the only one not to check in tonight so far for Gippsland.
Yeah, to my understanding, still nursing back a injury that he had to get a procedure done on. So I'd say they'd be saving him for the hopeful back end of the season if they can manage a finals campaign.
As Gippsland keep the pressure going, that's Masunda going to the rack. Brown trying to put the pressure on, is called for the foul.
Well,
it's his fourth.
If there's a player of the game that we could pick for tonight, Masunda's certainly up there. He's on 23 points and he's got a cruisy 8 rebounds, and he just made a free throw to sum up his night after the free throw woes that he had.
24 points in 24 minutes. He's going well as Demzik's able to find the bottom of the net down the other end. 17 points, McNally. He gets it. Gippsland still bringing the pressure. Back to McNally. Will he let it fly? No, he won't. Tankard's going to put a bit of pressure on him. We've got 25 seconds remaining. Masunda can't get it to drop. He's probably going to end the night leading all scorers with 24 as Brown tries to go to the ring and has it dislodged. 16.9 remaining here in Traralgon. 17-point lead to Melbourne Uni. They're going to win the game. It's just by how much as Brown spins, puts it up, can't get it to fall. Barlow tries again, can't get it to fall. Brown's able to recover and put it in to finish with 24 points. And that's the end of the game. Melbourne University 108 to Gippsland 93. Definitely Melbourne Uni with a better team tonight.
Absolutely. They certainly came and did their job. They knew what they needed to do. It seemed like they were well scouted and performed and everything. So, you know, credit to Uni. They certainly got the job done, and I'm sure Josh Turton, their head coach, will be very happy getting this tough road win in.
Definitely, and as we spoke, 1, 2, 6 scorers for Melbourne Uni in double digits to Gippsland got 4 in the end. Masunda led the way with 24, had a wonderful night. Considering his size, he definitely battled against the taller Gippsland players. Pomerson lit it up from the 3, which was good to see. Sokolewski, he finished with 18 points and
on 100% shooting. 100% shooting. So, for him there, that is an absolute great shooting night for Sokolewski.
Quickly go around the courts before we finish up for the night. Let's start Championship men, and looks like RMIT have got a win over McKinnon, 75-74. We obviously not finalised there, but it's looking that way. On the stats that we can see, Sunbury currently leading 53-47 against Wyndham. A couple other games have started. Warrandyte 47-41. Currently 6-point lead, probably leading into the half by the looks of it. And Pakenham have a tough match tonight against Hume City. Currently in the lead at halftime, 43-42, but they have to back it up again tomorrow against Melbourne University at Melbourne University. So obviously Melbourne University had a reasonable game tonight. Pretty easy in the end, but tough game for Pakenham here. And then backing it up against Melbourne University tomorrow in a double header. That game kicking off 4 p.m. So all their Melbourne University fans that might be tuning into the broadcast tonight, 4 o'clock tomorrow, Melbourne University Sports Centre is where you'll find some more Big V action for Melbourne University. And we'll check back in on the Melbourne University teams now. Youth League 1 men, they're taking on Blackburn, and they're currently 14-point lead late in the second. And obviously the Melbourne University Division 1 women were taking on Whittlesea tonight. Looks like they got the win at home, which is great to see. And for our Gippsland fans, our women travelled to Altona. There's still a quarter to go there, but the girls are looking like they're starting to run off their feet. Only taking 6 or 7 players, and they're down 66-45. So some big game. Obviously, a big game tomorrow for Melbourne University. They've gone to 7-6 now. If they win tomorrow, that's 8-6. That's huge. That's going to really. Well, RMIT beating McKinnon probably doesn't help that case, but it might push them up to 4th, because Pakenham currently sit in 3rd.
Oh, you see, like I said, how close it is between 3rd and 7th is outstanding. So every win's going to matter coming into it, and unfortunately, this loss for Gippsland is just not going to help. But it's a game for Melbourne Uni, especially if Melbourne Uni can get over Pakenham, which, by the way, Pakenham are up by a point against top of the table Hume City. So I think there's a lot to look forward to tomorrow to really get a clear of understanding of what that top 5 is going to really look like after this round.
That's right. Tomorrow, 4 p.m, Melbourne University Sports Centre. We'll see Melbourne University taking on Pakenham. If you can't get to the game, get on the broadcast. I'm sure it'll be a cracker game. And then for any Gippsland United fans out there, the men return home next weekend. They've got a tough ask against RMIT. It's an 8 o'clock tip-off, which means we have a triple header. Youth League men at 4, Div 1 women at 6, Champ men at 8. So if you are in Gippsland, make sure you get to the Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium for a 4 o'clock, a 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock tip-off next Saturday night. And then obviously our champ men have their first double-header weekend next weekend. They'll travel to Sunbury on the Sunday, which is going to be a big matchup. And I just see there Hume City, Melbourne University are going to travel to Hume City next week. So it'll be very interesting to see how that one goes and whether they get the returning players that they had out tonight, especially for tomorrow even.
Absolutely. So it'll be very interesting. Looks like the last couple are at the back. Last 6 rounds are in coming up. Last 5 or 6, I think we're going to be in for an absolute treat for the race of the top 5.
And that's all from us here at the Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium tonight. Obviously, round 12, Big V action. Melbourne University come down the highway, take the win, 108 to Gippsland's 93. Thank you to everyone who joined the broadcast or who watched the replay. Hope you enjoyed the commentary and the game. And for now, that's us signing off. For any Melbourne University supporters out there, tomorrow, Sunday, 4 p.m. against Pakenham, they'll need your support in venue if you can get there. Otherwise, jump on the broadcast. That's going to be a cracker game. And Gippsland United return here to Gippsland Regional Indoor Sports Stadium next week. RMIT, 8 o'clock tip-off. That's all from us. 108, 93, Melbourne University travel down the highway. You beauty, they say.